Hey guys, so today we're going to be reviewing the SHOWPIN 139 in 1 electronic repair kit. As you can see, it just comes in a brown box. It is pretty generic looking from the start, but let's get into it and see what we find. So from the start, what we see is black case with gray borders. Pretty sturdy too. Doesn't feel like it's going to flex or feel like it's gonna be breaking anytime soon. Open it up. Got some tools inside. You got over here, you've got a magnetic screw holder. So say you're working on an electronic and you need a place to put your screws. You can put it right here. The screws will stick to it. That'll keep them from going anywhere or running off the table on you. But here we got the toolkit. You got all your bits, anywhere from Phillips to tri-wing to triangle head to hex heads. A bunch of really nice bits in here. They look fairly compact, so you can work on a lot of different electronics with this. The kit advertises that you can work on pretty much anything. So inside, got your plastic spudgers. A lot of people call these the guitar picks for electronics because basically they look exactly like a guitar pick, but just a little different in shape. But these help you get under edges of, say, a laptop if you're going to take it apart. Helps you get underneath without scratching the edges. On the other side of the case, we've got a couple more things. We've got a suction cup that is a little bit smaller than the one in the case here. As you can see, they're two very different sizes, but both of them have a SIM card opener. So just in case you lose one of those, you can still open it with the other. So I think that's actually pretty handy, just in case, because a lot of people tend to lose their parts. So that just slides in underneath some fabric here. You got the fabric holding that in, as well as over here you've got another magnetizer and demagnetizer. So in this part of the box, we got the screwdriver, which is pretty solid build quality. It's all made out of, I'm guessing, aluminum, but the hinge in the back spins freely, so that I like. Makes it so you can use one hand to tighten down a screw. You got an extender on the end of it, which is removable, so that is really nice if you need to get into a smaller space and need to be able to fit the screwdriver. Another thing that I love about this is how on the back right here, there's a little hole right there. But that makes it so that, say you're in a tight space in the back of a computer case and you really need to turn a screw but don't have quite enough finger strength to do that, you can take the extender and put it into the hole, and that gives you the leverage to be able to just turn it. And that can be a really useful feature when you're in a tight pinch. It's also got 3 rubber rings right here, so that makes it really easy to grip. Makes it so that you can turn it a little easier, and just sometimes if it's just the metal, it'll slip in your fingers and you just won't be able to get the amount of force you need to undo a certain screw. Now you've also got an extender, which is fairly movable. You can turn it 180 degrees, no problem, and it'll rotate when you turn the screwdriver. It's fully encased in rubber, so it's not braided mesh or anything like that, but it does feel of good quality. So say you're working, I can turn it almost 180 degrees before it starts giving me some issues with turning, but as long as you're just holding that bracket there, shouldn't be any issues at all. You can definitely get around tight 90-degree angle spots. Here you've got ESD tweezers, and these do feel a little cheaper made than other ones I've used in the past. However, they do have the rubber coating on the back, so it does protect you from ESD. And I do like how nice and flush these two are together. I've seen a lot of these where when you put them together, the tips aren't touching right or they're not lined up correctly. but these do seem like they would do a pretty good job at picking things up. So now here we've got two more plastic spudgers, got a medium one and got a smaller one. So these also help with, like I said, working around the laptops. However, these smaller ones would be more useful for working with like a phone or taking the back off of it so you can get underneath without having to use your fingernails or trying to pry it apart with anything like a screwdriver, which a lot of people will do and actually wind up damaging the case. So definitely nice to see plenty of those. Now, in the case itself, we've got a box cutter. So that extends, it's got different adjustments. You can have it out all the way to here, so that's about 2 inches of blade. But usually you don't really need that much. You can just get away with a little bit, and that'll help with that. Then, underneath, you've got a plastic crowbar. So this, basically, you put it in, and it gives you a little wedge that you can push under, and then you can use that to pry off a computer case for laptops. Here we've got a large spudger. So this would help if you're going to be taking off a screen for a phone. You would use your suction cup and put that on the screen and use that to lift up lightly while using this to get around the edges so you can get all the adhesive off without hopefully damaging the screen at all if it's still in any good condition, or hopefully without shattering it and causing shards to go everywhere. And on the back of that there's actually another spudger that's slightly smaller, so you can either use the big side to help pry up the adhesive or this side to scrape it off as well. Now over here, got more tweezers. We got a few different pairs of them. So there's skinnier ones, there's wider ones, and there's a medium one. They all have different nose tip widths though, however. So this one, even though it's got a wider handle, it's got the smallest width tip, but the edge is rounded, so that makes it so that you won't damage things as easily if you're doing anything that could get poked easily, like with these. It's got the small tip, but it is pointy on the end, so that could damage some things if you're trying to poke around, so that's what the other ones would be useful for. But these definitely feel good quality. They're about the same as the first one, however the ESD casing on them is better quality. So I'm not sure if that was just manufacturing error with the piece in the box, but these do feel good quality. There's more plastic spudgers. I definitely like to see that because I hear a lot of people complaining about how their spudgers can break if they're working on them too hard because they've got different durabilities and sometimes doesn't work quite right. You got a metal spudger. However, metal spudgers I don't prefer using as often because, like I said, you can scratch the case and wind up leaving the product looking damaged and unprofessionally finished, and that can often make people upset, or even myself upset, because I just don't like seeing damaged products. But you've got metal crowbars, which, like I said, is similar to the other plastic crowbar. These ones give a little bit more resistance, so more durability when you're pulling off, say, the back of a laptop. But overall, everything included in this case seems very inclusive, and I don't believe they've missed anything. Even over here in the corner, they've got an electrostatic wristband, so you can protect yourself and the electronics from any shortage or causing any jolt to the electronics that could kill the components. Now, a lot of people wonder why that's actually necessary to have that, because They don't believe that static actually can affect computer parts, but if you go over to the LinusTechTips channel, they've actually got a collaboration with Electroboom on Can Static Electricity Kill Your Computer Components, so I recommend giving that a watch. But overall, this build looks very well put together. Don't believe they've missed anything, and I don't know quite yet the durability of it, but I'll let you guys know that in upcoming videos. And I would definitely like to show you guys what this has to offer in the future. Okay guys, so after the video I realized that this magnetic mat for the screws that I showed you guys earlier, it actually slides out of the case. So if you wanted, you can use that, and there's actually 2 of them included. So if you wanted to, you can put them side by side, and it gives you a little more surface area to put your screws onto and organize them. And it does make it easier so you don't lose your screws under this fabric flap like I was saying earlier. So, and with that guys, if you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, you know what to do, but hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.